I like to welcome everybody to the east side. Living good to the east side. They be tripping cause I see the way we ride all day, every day up in the east side.
So what you say?
I like to welcome everybody to the east side.
Yeah.
Living good on the east side.
Yeah.
They be tripping cause I see the way we ride all day, every day up in the east side.
I said, welcome to the east, where the girls are all beauties, then you know that I'm the beast, baby. You tryna get a rest from me, gotta save her for a year and a couple months at least, cause I'm at a different level now, homie, I'm long gone. Name any place, I bring the east out a long run. And please do me a favor, I don't need no favors, man, the block's so turned. Every day I meet a stranger, it's like every time I leave the coast, I just get homesick. Hustle too strong, can't afford to waste any tick. The money keep calling, women keep calling, I'm too independent, major record labels, I ignore them at the top like a drone. Did it on my own, won't nobody take it from me, cause I built it on my own. In the shade for too long, but now it's sunny. If I fall off, I'ma land on top of money. Money.
I like to welcome everybody to the east side. Living good in the east side. They be tripping cause I see the way we ride all day, every day up in the east side.
So what you say?
I like to welcome everybody to the east side.
Yeah.
Living good on the east side.
Yeah.
They be tripping cause I see the way we ride all day, every day up in the
But
east
I'ma
side.
break the bank and bring the money to the east. Get my platinum plaque and bring it back to the east. Pull up to the south, blowing kush from the east. She reside in the north, tonight she crashing in the east. Riding round town, got Miss Charlie and the homie Nana. Boy, you break it down about the east. Sit back and enjoy this sounds of certified click. Gotta keep it cool or you wake up early, find your car sitting on bricks, messing with the wrong chicks. Let me school you to the east, show you who's who, what they do, where the real crew is. Teach you how to flex when you pull up in the new. I'll be on the home half the time with my boo-boo. Like, sure you don't wanna see some more? Cause I can show you hoods where police won't go. Then I'll show you more spots where I'm considered as hot. Since the sea's my turn, they want an album to drop in her.
I like to welcome everybody to the east side. Living good in the east side. They be tripping cause I see the way we ride all day, every day up in the east side.
So what you say?
I like to welcome everybody to the east side.
Yeah.
Happy holidays and welcome to Trendz on this festive edition of the show. We are still here. Yeah, we are coming to you, bringing you all the biggest headliners and trending people in entertainment and showbiz in South Africa. Thank you so very much. That was Sean Trendz featuring Miss Charlie singing for us, and I'll be chatting with them in just a little while. Christmas, and then there was New Year's, and there's so much happening. But of course, the world of celebrity never sleeps. And with that, let's take a look at all the entertainment news headliners that were big recently. And our first story of today, now one of our highlights of 2017, was just a few weeks ago when American R&B legends Brian McKnight and Brandy Norwood were in the country. Now the concerts took place in Pretoria, Johannesburg, and ended in Durban. Take a look at our exclusive with Mr. Aging Oh So Well, the timeless Brian McKnight.
Norwood is ranked one of the best-selling female artists in American music. The 5-time platinum-selling artist for Never Say Never is not only known for her hits, many know her for her role in the American sitcom Moesha. Another legend that will be performing at this R&B concert is a man who needs no introduction. Brian McKnight has earned himself a firm spot in the history of contemporary music. Mzansi happens to be one of his favorite countries to visit and perform at.
I'm happy to be here. You know, this got on my calendar maybe 5-6 months ago, and this is the last shows I do for this year, and we saved the best for last.
Oh yes, obviously South Africa has to be the best. I mean,
that's right.
That's why you keep coming back, right?
Yes, of course.
So can you tell us a bit about what we should be expecting in the Legends of R&B concert?
Well, for my part, I'll let Brandy do her thing for what she's going to do, but I'm selling 25 years of nostalgia. So we're going to go all the way back to the beginning and everything in between, all the way up to Genesis, the new album, and play everybody's favorite songs, period.
Ooh, please tell me that the biggest part of me and the rest of my life is somewhere in the set.
Man. Why'd you pick 2 songs?
Please, no, I really
I'll see what I can do.
Tell us a bit about Genesis, the title, how did that come about, what's happening in it?
So, when I started making this particular album, CD, whatever we call them these days, I've been trying to figure out for about 10 years how to be current, but also do what I normally do. And I think Genesis is finally when I figured out that formula. If you listen to Forever or Hungry, that's the new 2017 Brian McKnight. So if people had never heard me before, this is the album. If this is the first one, that would be what I would present to them. But then there's also I Want You and Everything and 10 Million Stars. So I think I finally sort of figured out that formula to do both.
But how far away is that sound from the regular classics that we know and love before?
Some of them are really far away, but then some of them are dead on. And I think as an artist, I have to be willing to try some new things, but also satisfy what people expect, which is not the same old Brian McKnight, but the same Brian McKnight that they've come to love and appreciate.
From Genesis, is there going to be an exodus?
No, because this particular Genesis, well, I guess that Genesis is the same, but a new beginning. A new beginning, basically, a metamorphosis of who I am and where I am in my life at this point.
When you look at your 25 years in the game, are you now pulling up other artists under your wing, or how does that work?
Not really. I've always kind of felt like that's what labels should do. Labels should seek out new talent. I think at this point in my life and my age, I have so many other interests besides music that I wouldn't be able to give the time to. But if I see someone really talented, I know who to point them in the direction of where they should go and who they should be with. Because these, from the beginning of time, you can have all the talent in the world. If you're not with the right people, it's not really going to matter. So.
Tell us a bit about those side projects that you're doing. What are you up to?
I cannot tell you.
Come on.
But when they come to fruition, then when I come back, we can talk about them.
Probably a movie, ne?
We'll see.
A book?
We'll see.
Would you write a book?
All the above, yeah. I've started writing actually 3 books. I just have to finish them.
3 books at the same time?
Yeah. Well, I read several books at the same time, so I have a bunch of different subjects I'd like to tackle. So
it's not just, Brian McKnight is not just all about just love.
Well, I think that's what we are all about. Ultimately there isn't one decision you make that doesn't affect your heart in some way. And that's what love is really all about, what's happening in here.
You and Brandy haven't been on the same stage ever.
No.
So what are you thinking? Do you think you're going to gel? Is there going to be a synergy?
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to do anything actually together, but I think it's great that these 2 great acts get to be on the same bill and give people something that they haven't seen before, so that's never happened before.
We really look forward to that. And thank you so much for speaking to us on Trendz.
You're very welcome.
And so, he's actually been here before. Sean Trendz he started the year with us and he's ending his year with us. He started his career at the age of 18 under his own record label, Certified Click. Now, his big break came in 2015 when he released his first professional single titled My Turn. Then in 2016, he dropped his second one titled Thang For Ya. So he's here, but he's also accompanied by the beautiful Charlie sisters, Naledi and Maseho, who go by the name together together, Miss Charlie. They're here to talk about their collabo. It's titled East Side.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Look at you, Sean. Look at you. Okay, let's start with you, Sean. Let's start with you. So welcome again. Like I said, you know, earlier in the year, you were here doing your own thing. So here you are, brought us two lovely ladies. Tell us about the East Side.
Just basically, just shouting out like where we from. We're from the East Rand, so I'm from Vosloorus. They from Dal Park, Brakpan, which is like all one coast.
Sure.
So that's the whole East Side movement. I mean, we went to high school together, you know, so I couldn't do the song on my own, so I had to bring the people that I was hustling with, like people, you know.
Nice.
Like,
so during like break time there, you guys were, you know, you were writing or they were singing over a hook or something. Were you guys on that tip in high school?
Nah, like she was, okay, they were in choirs.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They were in choirs.
That was never your thing.
Nah, I was not. I was just used to rap at school.
Right,
and stuff,
right.
Yeah. But then we linked up immediately after, like, I think tertiary, we started linking up.
All right, cool. Matseho, Naledi?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, Charlie sisters, tell us about yourselves and yeah, how you got to be working. Well, other than the fact that, you know, you guys are really talented, I haven't heard of you. So what's happening 2018? What can we expect from the Charlie sisters?
Okay, so we are Miss Charlie. We started singing way
Very
before
young.
we could speak.
Yes.
But yeah, basically we grew up in choirs. We had a lot of classical training.
Okay.
So that's where we started. And when we were in high school, I was singing in the choir, and then Sean Trendz was just like, "Oh, I'm recording music. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Okay."
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just started from there. So right now we have our single with Sean Trendz, East Side. We have a new single coming up with Sean Trendz, East Side 2.0,
Yes.
in 2018.
Right?
Yeah,
right.
but as for Miss Charlie, Miss
Yeah.
Charlie's in the studio. We're writing, working hard.
Are you
So,
writing
yeah.
your own stuff?
Yeah,
Yes,
we write our own
music.
Oh, okay,
music.
okay.
Yeah.
You guys did that like your twins. You're not twins. She's the older sister, you're the youngest
Yeah.
sister.
We do that a lot.
Is it? Okay, that's really cool. I mean, that
Nice.
shows, you know, the strength of your bond and I suppose
Yeah.
the fact that, you know, your musical, you know, inspirations and even just the way forward, you guys have a shared vision and you
Yeah.
want to see, you know, Miss Charlie be big. You know what I mean?
We hope so.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Sean, all right, so working with, you know, the sisters over here, who else are you working with? What's next on your plate, you know, for the festive season as well as in the new year?
Nah, basically the whole plan is to bring the raw talent from my neighborhood. You know, I'm talking Lungster Fame, I'm talking Lambo, Grey Beats. Like
Nice.
those are like the hungry people from the hood that I want to come up with.
Are these people, you know, under your label as well?
No,
Okay.
it's just affiliates.
Right,
You know, like
right.
I let people do their own thing.
Okay.
So that it's easier to carry on with or without me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the kind of person. So like, right now we hear East Side Television Tour. We're just pushing the whole East Side movement.
Yeah,
the
tell us
video.
about that. The tour has been very successful.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, okay, cool. The thing about radio is you submit a song, it gets playlisted. So you fight for playlisting and then you fight for airplay. So you, like, it's two battles here.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. People are gonna forget about us on radio. So I gotta go to other avenues where we could be seen
Yeah.
and heard
Yeah.
at the same time with large following or of listenership and viewership. So it came the whole idea of radio tours, which is reaching out to radio stations that were already showing us love. So we did like a chain of like, just going to different radio stations like in a month, and we managed to achieve like a couple of milestones. You know, like some national radio, like East Side was the highest played song in the month of July.
Nice one.
Some radio station, East Side was like the first hip hop song to be played.
Okay.
You know, and then I was like, okay, cool. The music video just came out. Let me just do the same thing visually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the businessman in you.
Yeah.
Okay, East Side 2.0.
Oh, East Side 2.0. I think that's the first move for 2018.
Okay.
We're still riding on the East Side wave.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
All
be
right.
big.
Ladies, tell us about, I mean, I'm seeing there, you know, tidbits of the video and stuff. How was that? I mean, this is like your first, you know, launch into the limelight and everything. How the folks, how they're taking all this, or did they always know that you two are going to be the troublesome two who ruffle feathers and are like, you know what, we want this, we are hungry for this, we are passionate about this industry.
My parents are so excited because
Yeah.
they always knew this is what we wanted to do.
Okay.
Like I remember not long ago, a friend of mine reminded me that I signed a lot of her papers saying I'm going to be famous one day.
Nice
So
one.
it's a full circle moment.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
it really is.
Yeah.
And I feel like our parents wanted this for us
Sure,
as well.
sure.
I don't know, for some reason, I always felt like I'm living someone else's life. I'm meant to do something else.
Yeah. Were
And
you
I
9
always-
to 5ing at some point?
No, but like
Okay.
in school, I'd always feel like, man, I feel like I should be doing something
There's
else.
more to me.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, now that I'm doing this, I feel like, yep, this was it.
Okay.
This was what I was supposed
I
to
have
do.
a question though. The two of you together, you're not twins, but then the name is Miss Charlie. Why Miss Charlie?
I feel like our bond is so strong. We're basically one person.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the age gap between you guys?
2 years.
Not even 2 years, it's a year and 8 months.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
we
you
figured
guys.
since we both Miss Charlie,
Yeah.
Miss
we might as well
Charlie.
just be
Okay,
one Miss
well,
Charlie.
hopefully there won't be no Kelly or Beyonce kind of vibes
Oh,
later
right.
on where one
It's
of you
crazy because
needs to break
agree,
out.
like they agree like with everything. There's no disagreement here.
Well, that's lovely for now. Thank you so very much, ladies. We wish you all the best.
Thank
You
you.
know, do your thing and go out there and make your mark on the music scene. And
you so
yeah,
much.
all the best for the new year.
Thank you.
All right, Sean.
Thank
good
you
to
very
see you,
much.
man. And yeah, Eastside 2.0. Do your thing.
Eastside 2.0.
All right, we're going to a night break. Come back after this. What an absolute pleasure it is today. I have the honor of sitting across a man who is a legend in Hollywood, in Spanish film. This is the legend, Antonio Banderas. He's in the country. Dr. Antonio Banderas actually done a lot of amazing work in film all throughout the world, in animation as well. And he's in South Africa on a particular cause, a few of them actually that I'm just about to find out about. Thank you so very much for coming through to Trendz.
My pleasure. Really.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Banderas, first of all, there's a lot of things that you're here to do. It's not just one thing. It's not a film. So please tell people who might not, you know, have read and been on social media what exactly you're here for.
Well, 21 years ago, I initiated a relationship with a company in Spain that basically they do perfumes. We have been working those 21 years to get to a point in which we sell our products in 93 countries all around the world. But we try to make business and in a particular way. We try to make ethical business. So contractually, I signed with this company 2 decades ago, just thinking that part of what we actually sell, you know, it should go to a charity and many different kinds of charities, normally associated with kids who live on the frontier of human dignity. And so here we picked this association, you know, under the wing of a woman called Gail Johnson, who has done an amazing job with Cozy Heaven.
Yes.
And they take care of kids with AIDS and their mothers too.
Sure.
They're infected. They have 120 of them, and they put them to study from zero, from primary school to actually at the end of university.
Let's talk about the signature scent, you know, the Antonio Banderas fragrances. You have a long line of them. And one thing though is celebrity fragrances don't always do well, but yours do. So what's the secret?
The secret is that normally celebrities, they just give their image and their name to a fragrance or some other products, but they don't apply work. And I did that. I believed in this project from the beginning. We work a lot. I like the team that I have. We have been working very hard for these 20 years. And it became something of mine. It was not something that I did for money and I just said some words in front of a camera and I went home, but I took it under my wing too, and it's my baby.
And so the other part of why you're here is an amazing, fantastic exhibition that is an ode to all of us gorgeous women. We love anything that celebrates us, that says we are awesome and we need to be cognizant and remember this all the time. So tell us about this amazing Women in Gold exhibition.
We try to promote our product in a different way. And of course the charity has been always there. I don't like to go from country to country with a bottle of perfume saying to the people, buy this because it smells very good. Everybody knows that it smells very good. You know, it's a cologne, it's supposed to do that, right?
Yeah.
So my team, which is another of the secrets that I travel with, many years ago proposed me, you know, just to show a little bit of other sides, artistic sides that I have that people don't know about them. And one of them is photography. I love photography. I've been doing snap photography for a long time. And they proposed me just to get me in a studio. This is the second exposition. Sure. And actually it's linked with the charity too, because we do, every time that we go to a country, what we do is a gala dedicated to the charity that we are putting our finger on. And then we do an auction with some of those pictures. So whatever funds are put together after the auction, they go to the charity. We guarantee a minimum to, I think it's $100,000 that we're going to give the charity, but whatever we are going to do the night of next Thursday, actually, in the gala, is going to go there too. So that's what the pictures are there. I am not a professional photographer, I'm an amateur.
These are gorgeous, and they're very expressive. One thing about them, they're very expressive, and you know,
kind of theatrical in a way, right?
Yeah. Last question, I know you do have to go. I mean, you've done so much, actor, singer, director. What's next in film? I mean, you received your doctorate, you received your Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. Yeah, what's next for you? And are we getting Puss in Boots again?
We are.
Fantastic.
Actually.
Absolutely love it.
I saw in Cannes Guillermo del Toro not such a long time ago, and you know that Universal bought actually DreamWorks, so now it belongs to Universal, but Universal decided just to go with another Puss in Boots, which is great. But the next thing is not that. The next thing is I'm going to play a character that was born, actually, a real character that existed, was born 2 blocks from where I was born. I am from Malaga in the south of Spain, and his name is Pablo Picasso. And I'm going to play him in a TV series called Genius, generically. The first season was dedicated to Albert Einstein, and Jeffrey Rush played him. He had 10 nominations for the Emmys this year, and the second season is going to be another Genius, it's going to be Picasso. So that is important for me, not only just because Ron Howard is behind, and Fox and National Geographic behind the whole entire show, but because this is a man who was born in my hometown and became huge in the world of art. So I have a big responsibility, but at the same time, the big pleasure of playing him.
Oh my goodness, we can't wait for that. Thank you so very much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and just gracing us on Trendz, and we look forward to that Pablo Picasso story.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And so that was definitely an exclusive that is one of my personal highlights for the year. And yeah, you heard everything over and above Antonio Banderas being here in South Africa. He was here for everything, you know, for photography, for HIV and AIDS, and also his fragrance line, of course. And one thing I want to see come the new year is that a story of the life of Pablo Picasso. As you heard, Antonio Banderas grew up literally 2 blocks away from where he was born. Yeah, that's Genius coming in 2018. And of course, for me and everybody else who loves animation, Puss in Boots comes back as well, hopefully in 2018. Now, in our next story, American designer and fashion influencer Stay Fly Thrash was in the country recently to talk about all things fashion. As usual, Trendz tagged along with him through the streets of Braamfontein and Joburg, where he took us to different shops, giving us a lesson or two about different fabrics and looks to look our best. Take a look.
He has made a big splash in the LA fashion scenes. Stay Fly also knows how to put together unique fashion looks. Even more convincing is that you'll never catch him looking anything less than stellar in his appearance. So, what does he think about South African fashion and trends?
As far as y'all's fashion, as far as South Africa's fashion, I feel like it's very much more ethnic. And I feel like that's what I enjoy about coming over here, is being able to see it firsthand instead of hearing about it and learning about it and things like that. I wanted to come and be more like hands-on and be able to like actually see it instead of just hear about it and things like that. So I wanted to be able to actually like feel the vibes, you know what I mean?
Stay Fly is also part of the Red Bull TV series called Social Fabrics, where he features some of his suit collections. Social Fabrics reveals stories behind everyday fabrics, from jeans to cowboy boots, and how they are styled, customized, and made iconic around the world. We also followed him around in the streets of Braamfontein while he jumped from shop to shop to look for the latest trends in fashion.
Yes, I feel like fashion is always going to repeat itself. That's something that I feel like everyone kind of notices it, and I think it's becoming a thing where we're kind of like paying homage to the things that have been done before us, and we kind of want to go back and like relive it again. Yeah, we're creating new trends and new styles, but what's cool about our new generation is that we're finding how to mix both of those worlds, take some of the old with some of the new, and create something very genuine. Yeah.
I think this may be my one. This is something that I can't find in the U.S.
This fashion stylist says he chose South Africa because some of the items here he can't find in the States, especially shoes that fit him perfectly.
I found some good stuff out here. I found a shoe brand that I wanted to get a pair, but they didn't have my size, so I was kind of let down on that one. But that's kind of what I came for when it came to shopping. I wanted to find things that I can't find in the U.S. You know what I mean? But overall, it's been good. I found some good pieces. I found like a cool vintage tie. I found like a cool vintage scarf. So yeah, overall, it's been good.
Right, and so the Buffalo City Cricket Stadium in East London was packed last week. People came out in numbers to celebrate the 9th annual Buelekhaya Pan-African Cultural Festival. This world-class homecoming production showcased the best of African music talent with over 23,000 festival goers from all over the country in attendance. Take a look at the highlights.
When Eastern Cape turns up, it does so undoubtedly. No amount of rain could stop the masses from attending one of the biggest festivals of the province. In spirit of celebrating their culture and heritage, the 9th annual Buelekhaya Festival brought to stage all the phenomenal Eastern Cape born and raised artists to this homecoming festival.
So for me, it was, I don't even know, it says collect emotions, but yeah, this is my first time on the Buelekhaya stage, and I've always wanted to perform here. So now being my first time performing here was just amazing. And the reception in Buelekhaya, this is home for me. So it's amazing, man. Oh, it's crazy. I've never been here. I've never attended the festival. I've seen it from afar. I've seen it as an aspiring artist, you know, like I want to be on that stage, you know, seeing my favorite artists being on the stage. I was always too young to go. My mom was very strict, so I could never attend the festival. So now, being the first time I attend the festival is the first time I'm actually performing on this stage. It's something else.
So this was my first time holding my own, you know. It felt amazing. For some reason, I enjoy all my performances, but for some reason, called Concert Eastern Cape, something special happens. I don't know if it's because I understand that it's my people and that I'm from here, but there's just something special that just happens.
The festival has a need to develop local Eastern Cape artists. This is in line with what many know and love Vusi Nova for.
It's important because I feel like we're so talented in Eastern Cape. There's so much talent up, and I feel like most of the people that are inside the industry always try to keep abantu bangaphandle out, if that makes sense. And I vowed to myself, because no one helped me when I was starting, so I vowed to myself that if I could be in a position to help Omni, I'll do it.
It's a blessing, and it means a lot to us, because actually we were really planning this December that we were going to come and be part of the show and watch the show, but now we're performing at the show with Vusi Nova, man. It's a blessing, man, and we want to say thank you to Vusi Nova, and thank you to Motherland, and thank you to the men above, man, for putting us here today.
Ifike ebhayisana sami safika apha emva ko2 owasilapha ngo2 sadela imvula yasibona masibedakeni mosne sithaba 12 hours later,
Hey guys, come on for Nova all the way from Port Elizabeth. Please, please have a happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Be safe, guys. Don't drink and drive. Let's have safe fun. Mwah.
Hi, my name is Amanda Black, and Merry Christmas! Happy New Year to all the SABC viewers. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, as you clearly see, no matter the weather, come rain or sunshine or hail, South Africans love a good party and festival. Well, if you didn't catch them at the start of the show, take a look now at Sean Trendz featuring the lovely ladies, the Charlie sisters, Naledi and Masejo. We're going to an ad break after that, and do come back. You're watching Trendz. Welcome back. You're still watching Trendz. So the Banderas return to the big screen one last time for a final showdown. That's right, Pitch Perfect 3 is out at cinemas, and this time the girls are going international, taking their talents to the Spanish shores. Now Becca and the girls are on the USO tour with a handful of other musical bands, all vying for the #1 spot to open for one of the best DJs ever. He's DJ Khaled. Take a look.
See you guys, I missed you. Hey, Bellas. So what do you want us to sing tonight? I brought this just in case.
We didn't invite you guys to sing. We invited you to watch.
Excuse me? I just thought you guys were so busy with your awesome jobs and amazing lives.
I am, actually.
We're actually...
They're so bright and shiny. Still look pretty.
They look like they was all breastfed. In the beginning, you see us living our life or trying to figure out which direction we go. It's just as much as any person coming out of college or going into a new direction in life.
We're all kind of in a rut of what we're supposed to be doing with our lives. Chloe's studying to become a veterinarian, but she doesn't know if she's going to get into school. And we decide to all join together and come back for this reunion that Emily invites us to.
And we all think that we're gonna sing, and then it turns out that we're not actually singing, we're just watching. And they are younger, they're cooler.
I would do anything to sing with you guys again.
Every year the USO puts on this performance to support the troops in Europe.
One last show together.
Who's with me?
Hell yeah.
And so the annual Buele Kaya Festival, you saw the highlights package earlier, right? Now that was the musical part. So this year, in their 9th year, it was the second installment of the Fashion Development Program, where once again, emerging Eastern Cape young designers were chosen to participate in an intense skills and development mentorship program with top designers, Tula Cindy and David Lale. Now these emerging designers showcase their work alongside internationally renowned designer La Duma, as well as David and Tula Cindy, but also Taibo Bakar of Mozambique. Take a look.
A Pan-African festival that celebrates the identity of the continent through all that is heritage. Currently in its 9th year, the Buele Kaya Festival is big on the development of the community of Eastern Cape talent. Last year, the festival established the Fashion Development Program.
This fashion development is what we are passionate about, because as we look at young people, we look at the future, we say at some point we need to do something about them. So we looked at fashion precisely because, you know, this area is very rich in cultural heritage, and we thought maybe this is where we could start. We still want to add more and more to what we're doing, to the offering and the basket of goods that we're offering, but we think this is a good one. I think you can see the talent you saw for yourself, the passion, enthusiasm. It takes so much to be a young child and be able to be so creative and produce something. And we don't want to kill that spirit, because once you kill that spirit, there's nothing left.
This development program handpicks Eastern Cape designers to participate in an extensive program with Mzansi's top designers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it started last year when I took 10 interns for 10 days to really fine-tune them about fashion, from the costing to design to marketing, creating logos for them, shooting a lookbook with them, basically a 10-day boot camp of getting their brand identity. So this year, I decided to get involved a little bit more, not only to do the 10-day boot camp for the finalists of this year, but to also take the 2 winners with me for 6 months as my interns to build their businesses, because I am very interested in the business side of fashion, to create a really beautiful business from what they do. So they're going to be with me for 6 months. We're going to create an online store for both of them. We're also going to make sure that their clothes are stocked at Burgundy Fly boutiques, and just really kind of making sure that they're working within the actual business side of fashion and seeing that in that 6 months, can they start the building blocks of a fashion empire.
The program kick-started with a 10-day trip to Jozi, where design extraordinaire David Tlale and other mentors gave the emerging talent tips and tricks of the business of fashion.
We had David Tlale's workshop where we submitted the sketches and the forms and our CVs, and then that's where we got elected as the 10 finalists. Yes.
I really wanted to know the business side of the fashion, and this has helped me with that.
This fashion showcase broadens and highlights the spectrum of how far African ethnicity is seen and celebrated throughout the world.
Everybody's saying the African aesthetic is taking global stage. So maybe this is the one thing to start with, so that we know that they can take advantage of what is happening and get the opportunities. We're not known for exporting our culture. And culture is in dress, in expression, in dance, song. We've always exported our song, but we need now to start looking at fashion and how creative we can be and how we can sell this to the rest of the world. And also it's a form of identity. If we're proud of our identity, then we should be proud of how we dress. Like we're saying, it's the purveyor of our culture.
My designs, they are Xhosa inspired. For instance, we have been given a theme that says going back to the roots, Buyele Khaya. And then now I go back to the roots using leather. I've attached leather on my garments. So when I look back from the Xhosa culture, because I am Xhosa myself, I look back and say our Xhosa indigenous fabric was leather. So now I'm going back to the roots. I'm bringing back the leather into the market, because now we as Xhosas, we've used that. We've incorporated leather and beads. So that's what I'm trying to bring with my range.
It's a feeling. I love to sell the feeling more than the actual look. So when you feel good, everything automatically.
Because they are mostly being told by people who never grew up there. This is about a young boy who's working on taking over the world by storm and putting his hood on the map by embracing it. A young boy from Fosterus in the East Side.
You talking to me? Ish.
I like to welcome everybody to the East Side. Living good in the East Side. They be tripping cause they see the way we ride all day, every day up in the East Side.
I like to welcome everybody to the East Side. Living good on the East Side. They be tripping cause they see the way we ride all day, every day up in the East Side.
I said, welcome to the East where the girls are all beauties, and you know that I'm the beast, baby.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trends. So I want to talk to you now about a musical genre that outside of our borders has actually been making waves for some time. And now DJ Maphorisa intends to propel Gqom music to become a global phenomenon. The release of his a Wave compilation and a self-titled documentary is an indication of just this. With his newly established record company Black Boy Music, DJ Maphorisa wants to unearth new sounds and talents of Mzansi. Now the compilation features a stellar lineup of some of the greatest names making waves on the scene right now, along with up-and-coming producers. So the Trendz team scored an invite to the Bioscope out in Maboneng for a media screening of the documentary. Take a look.
Gqom is the future.
Multi-award-winning producer DJ Maphorisa partnered his Black Boy music label with Sony Music Entertainment Africa and created a documentary about the popular house Gqom sounds featuring some of the masterminds behind it. Gqom Wave is a visual project that goes along with a banging 14-track compilation album.
I presented the project to them. I said, yo, I want to do this Gqom thing, and then I really loved it. So, cause that Gqom thing was not really published properly, or maybe people don't really understand it, so it was really important to show the other people, you know what I'm saying, since well, even my release is an international release, so the other people, so that they can understand that sound, where is it coming from, you know what I'm saying, the inventors of the sound, who were the pioneers and stuff, you know. So it was really important for everyone to understand where is it coming from. You know.
Gqom is I think it was, what's his name, Vavi, many years ago, and he talked about an unstoppable tsunami. Gqom is pretty much that right now, you know. It is unquestionably the sound. It's the dance language of the dance floors in South Africa right now, and so little is understood about it that we kind of felt that it would be a really good asset and tool for us to put together a documentary that showcases what we feel is a really exciting, proudly and loudly South African sound.
Oh man, sound obviously originates from Durban. It's made by, you can say, the up-and-coming DJs because they're not really known, but they've got something special. Sometimes it can be raw and can be rough, and I guess that's why it makes people a little bit ratchet. Yeah.
I think it's amazing. You know, Maphorisa is, he's definitely, undoubtedly, probably one of the best producers on the continent. You know, he's shown it time and time again, and having him produce the compilation, which he's produced majority of the compilation, you can just hear the quality of the sound and the way that he can merge the beats and the vocals. And also the nice thing about Maphorisa specifically on this project is that he's very much about the unsung hero, so kind of bringing guys that are coming through from the townships, the up-and-coming producers, and giving them a spotlight.
The compilation album has collaborative efforts from trailblazing artists that highlight this distinctive South African sound.
Yeah, the selection process was kind of like dynamic because there's some beats I got online, so I picked them online, and some they sent me and some I did. So yeah, it was really a collective album, and almost all the tracks I've worked with someone, yeah, so it's like I produced it with different people, yeah.
This man came from far from Pitori to Pitori, and then Johannesburg and Waichukucha. Understand? And now we've got the Gqom Wave, the situation whereby it's too much. And make sure when you get the album, track number 2, you understand the nice things. I mean, only with me comes nice things.
I like you, girl, in particular. You in particular. I like your waist in particular.
Maphorisa keeps redefining the urban music landscape across the continent. Not only has he worked with some of the greatest artists in Africa, he has put his remarkable producing talent on tracks with international superstars like Major Lazer, Jadena, Diplo, Selena Johnson, Jason Derulo, Trey Songz, and Drake, among many others.
Yeah, I would like to work with, there's a lot of still, you know what I'm saying, and I've worked with Asha, I'll say Rihanna, Beyonce. I want to work with Trendz, one of the, he's one of the big influencers. I want to work with Black Coffee in here. There's a lot, there's a lot, like really a lot. Adele, I want to do something with Adele, and Sherem too. So it's really, it's going to be a long journey. I hope I reach, those levels and I get to that part and work with those people. Yeah. So I'll be really representing my country, and I hope, and I'm sure that they'll be proud of me when I do it. Yeah.
This Pretoria-born DJ plans on using this project to expose this genre to the international audiences and use Black Boy music as a platform for opportunity to other upcoming talent.
It's a new label, so yeah, I want to take care of that, make sure that I get, I sign in, I develop like, good, young artists, and I give them, the shortcut that I went through. So I want to, pave the way.
I think our biggest challenge right now is to take GOM international, to our international market. And, a shout out to Sony for putting together such a documentary, because that's one way to try and penetrate to the international market. And of course, we've got the DJs like the Disruption Boys who are doing very well right now. So we're working hard and making sure that they be able to break into the international market, because if they break into the international market, that means GOM is breaking into the international market. And the guys like Banderas as well, it's got super connections with the international market. So hopefully us working together could be able to make some good collabs with some Niger guys and guys from overseas.
It's basically like tech house with Vernac. That's why people can relate to it in Europe. You can play it in Berlin, you can play it in London, you can play it in Chicago, you can play it in Johannesburg, you can play it in Pretoria, you can play it in Durban, you can play it wherever, and people can feel, you can feel the rhythm. But because of our natural, the Vernac on it, it gives it our own identity. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a GOM wave. It is affecting people. It's wonderful.
His debut album is due next year, so in the meantime, go out there and catch this GOM wave.
How amazing, right? That for a man who just turned 30 years old and his debut album only comes out in 2018. My goodness, DJ Maphorisa, we salute you, man. Absolutely amazing. And so we have come to the end of this episode of Trendz on the SABC News channel. Do come back for more entertainment news headlines and the biggest celebrities out here in Mzansi. To all of you traveling, I hope you've had a lovely festive season. Going into the new year, do big, do better, stay safe, stay blessed. From me, Refill Wemwilwa, and the Trendz team, it's a goodbye.
No ba unga ti browse on flick ni mistering. No bunga mnika na next week ni mistering. I'm about chasing gooni when I'm a code. Dem na ke, tomba me la penji. I'm about chasing gooni when I'm a code. Dem na ke, tomba me la penji. Tomba me la, tomba, tomba me la, tomba, tomba me la, tomba, tomba me la penji. Zombambela, zombamba, zombambela, zombamba, zombambela, zombamba, zombambela penji. No bunga ni kabok ni mistering. No bunga fagi pende ni lace the mistering. No bunga ti browse on flick ni mistering. No bunga ni gana next week ni mistering. No bunga fagi pende ni lace the mistering. No bunga ti browse on flick ni mistering. No bunga ni gana next week ni mistering.
Let's put this with some track. So how it sing? He's right, I take on the teach. Let's put this with some track.
No man ni kabok ni mistering. No bunga fagi pende ni lace the mistering. No bunga ti browse on flick ni mistering. No bunga ni gana next week ni mistering.
when you ignore my post. I like it when you like this one ending come fast. This stalk your page, the type and the delete, the one go online, and then I bite my lip. Andazi no kondazi, I love you ndi ayazi. Where is that time? I'm inboxing now. Please call future baby, future maybe, future wife. Please call future baby, future maybe, future wife.
Shout out to